What do you say yes to? Welcome to Free Your Inner Guru. I am your host, Laura Tucker, and today we're going to be talking about the summer of yes. Every day you're presented with dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of choices where you put your attention and energy and opportunities that you say yes or no to. And today we're going to explore how having a summer of yes could change your life. So I had a summer of yes experience this past weekend that I'm excited to share with you. Last episode, I mentioned that there's an interview coming out that I would speak to you about this week, and I had the dates wrong. It was actually this past weekend, but I was invited to participate in a weekend series on the Shaun Proulx Show by Shaun, who hosts his show on Sirius XM, and when he and I met and sat down, he felt that I was saying yes to life in a big way. And I had never looked at my experience that way. It's become a huge reframing for me. So I wanted to share this with you. The idea of Summer of Yes is beautifully articulated in an article that Shaun wrote for 24 Hours Toronto. I'm going to read a short excerpt from you for you, and I've put a link in the show notes here if you want to go over and read it yourself. Summer of Yes isn't about saying yes to everything, nor is it to appease other people's agendas. It's about you. Saying yes to possibilities begins with your realigning yourself. To do so, you must leave your comfort zone and jump off the cliff. Put yourself first and dive into a summer of yes. Now, isn't that delicious? And you know, if you've listened, that alignment and comfort zone and putting yourself first are concepts that I talk about all the time. So I was definitely in alignment with the idea of this series, and I said a great big hearty yes, even though I was terrified. And when I saw the video clips and the pictures from that day, I was reminded that I flew home from Ottawa early that Monday morning at the end of May when we taped the show, exhausted, not realizing that my foot was fractured. So as I was going to this Summer of Yes interview, I had been rained on in Ottawa. It was raining cats and dogs. The humidity was just a mess. I got back to Toronto where the rain was moving in, and I was wearing heels thinking that was the right thing to do, and dragging my small suitcase down the road with me to the Sirius studios. And I was thinking, why did I say yes to this? And that's what happens sometimes when you say yes in a big way. Life throws you a few curveballs, and it's often not as pretty as you would like it to be, but that doesn't mean the experience can't be enriching and wonderful and good for you. If you are over on the website listening, you'll see the picture that I chose for this episode. It's a very similar, I was looking for something that I had shot myself instead of going to stock photography, and I had this idea of these beach pictures of beautiful sand and umbrellas and people on the beach saying yes to summer. And I looked at them and somehow they just didn't capture that energy of what can happen sometimes when you say yes. And I came across the one of me that is there after I've been trounced by the waves and spun upside down, and I came up and I knew my husband was hanging on to the camera, and I came up, thank goodness I had a rash guard on, which is a long sleeve shirt to wear in the water that surfers wear, because I was being bounced around in the waves all over the place. And I came up sputtering, choking, but laughing my ass off. And that is how Summer of Yes feels. When you say yes to life in a big way, it feels really good, even when it's challenging. So I have a big question that you can ask every time to help qualify whether or not something is good and right and true for you. And it's, will this person, place, experience, or thing give me energy? What can you say yes to that will give you energy? Can you say yes to play, to creativity, to forming new relationships? Yes means getting out of your comfort zone. Yes means taking risks. Yes means being open. It means being playful. Yes means not holding back. Yes means accepting help from other people, even though you could probably do it on your own. Yes means keeping first things first. Yes means being consistently kind to yourself. Yes means doing the next right thing for you, one right thing at a time. This is a shift towards playful self-compassion. So I want to encourage you to have a summer of yes, because like all things, when you start saying yes or start any new habit or any new way of being, it takes practice. So can you make saying yes to things that are good and right and true for you a practice that you do for the rest of the summer? I hope you do. I certainly am. Because there's a fundamental truth at play here. When you are in alignment with your values, when you align with what is true and right and good for you, it's empowering. It empowers you to create bigger results. It empowers you to include more people from your tribe in your life. You'll be a better leader. It empowers you to make change and have a meaningful contribution. Saying yes can be messy. It's always a little bit messy when we get outside of our comfort zone. Saying yes often means saying no to caring about appearances or what other people think. Saying yes means you're in the game instead of sitting on the sidelines of life. And you know what? Life is not a spectator sport. So let's play along with the summer of yes. Make sure if you're online, use the hashtag Summer of Yes, and you can catch the rest of the interview series on Sirius XM on the Shaun Proulx Show. I've included links in the show notes that you can follow back to his interview that I quoted from earlier this episode and find last weekend's show on demand, as well as participate in the rest of the series. Let's say yes to the Summer of Yes. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I know you have a lot of choice where you receive your inspiration and information. If these ideas and stories resonate with you, I would be so grateful if you would take a few extra seconds for two quick things. One, if there's an idea or moment in the story or conversation that you feel would make a difference in someone else's life, take a quick moment to share on whatever app or website you're listening on. And two, subscribe so that you can become part of the ongoing conversation. Big conversations become the catalyst for meaningful change. I'm Laura Tucker, signing off for Free Your Inner Guru.